Hello everyone, welcome to the 24-hour Digital Design Challenge. This is just a quick tutorial video to help you understand the submission process utilizing itch.io as a platform. Now the first thing that you want to do is actually create an account with itch.io if you haven't already created one. So you can come in here to register, put in your username, create a password. Remember, always use a unique password for every single account that you create. For security reasons, you can include your email here. It can be your student email or your personal email, completely up to you. I don't sign up to the bi-weekly month and then just accept and then create. Once you've done that, you can log in and you'll be able to access the 24-hour Digital Design Challenge site. In here, we've had the option to join the jam. If you haven't done that, it's important that you do that because it opens up the ability to submit. Now, if you haven't done this and your jam's already started, you can do it after the jam has begun. So do not stress out. It's okay. Just click join the jam. From there, you have the option to leave the jam. So you don't obviously have to submit if you don't want to. And then you have an option to submit your project. But we have to create a project first. And to do that, we can come to the drop-down menu here and we can go upload new project. In here, we have a lot of options that we include, but I'm just going to create a test project to kind of demonstrate what you can create. The first thing that you want to do is I'm just going to call this Digital Design Test, and that is the title of your project. It will automatically generate a URL for you. You can customize this URL, but it's not really a big issue, but it's going to have your username.itch.io and the name of your project. The next thing is to include a short description or tagline of your project. So I'm just going to say this is a test project, but obviously if whatever you've designed for your digital design, you can give a bit more information here with just a short little summary, which is excellent. The next thing is clarifying the actual project itself. So is it going to be a game assets, and so on? I find a lot of you will likely be the other category, because we're doing a bunch of different digital designs across a vast array of different areas and disciplines. So that's the option that I would likely choose unless any of these make sense to you. Next thing is what kind. It's going to be downloadable, and then whether or not it's released in development, on hand, cancelled, or a prototype. Likely it's going to be a prototype for all of you guys. It's just a short project that you've developed in 24 hours. For pricing, you can leave it at 0 or donate, but I'm just going to change it to no limits. And then we can also upload some files here. So technically, the submission only requires you to create a video showcase of your work, as well as provide a short description of your work in a statement. There's no requirement for you to submit working files or any files really, unless it is that showcase video. But I've created a little test example here, where we can come into test, just to upload that. That might be your working files that you might want to submit up there. And you can obviously change the different elements here. So it might be a video that you're submitting, might be other, or what I want. If you submit the video directly, we do have an option to use YouTube or Vimeo to actually embed the video. My recommendation is to do it through this process, utilizing YouTube and video and creating a link. And I've got that link here as an example, just a little placeholder link. So you can upload the video directly and avoid utilizing YouTube or video, but it just helps our judges grade quicker and look at your projects quicker without having to download anything. So completely optional how you submit, but just make sure you do submit that showcase video. The next thing is that we want to put in our description. So again, I've just got some lorem ipsum here. So we can just go test project, lorem ipsum, put that in, and we can kind of see what that might look like. And that's it. For tags, it's important that you do UC 24-hour DTC. That is our tag for the project. And then you can also put the year and any other tags that you would think is relevant. So just like tags on Instagram or Twitter or anything like that, or Facebook, they should just kind of get the nitty-gritty of what your project actually is. So it makes it more discoverable. No download instructions required. You can leave comments on if you'd like, or you can disable it. And the visibility is probably an important part. But before we jump into visibility, we actually need to come up here and upload a cover image. So every project will need a cover image. I've just created this quick test example here, so we can see that it's just a test project. Essentially, you do want to try and represent your project in some way in this image, and they've got the resolution of that image in pixels of 630 by 500. So you can use Photoshop, Illustrator, whatever software you want. You can take a photo of something and just crop it down. It's up to you guys. It might be a still shot from your video showcase with just text over the top. However you create it, it's up to you guys. So we've got our description, our statement, we've got our little image, and we've got our video. They're all the components required to submit. So we can come down here and go save and view the page to see what it's come up like. You can see all that information there. But the key thing is it is in draft still. So that's not actually published yet. So we actually have to come back in here and make sure that we select public so anyone can view it. So it is important that it has to be public to submit to the actual 24-hour challenge itself. If you don't have that, it will not be available. Cool. So once that's done, we can actually go view our page again, and we'll be able to see that this is published, and we can see all our information behind it, and we're essentially good to go. We have to jump back over into our 24-hour challenge now, and we can do that by coming into Game Jams. And we have joined a jam here, so we can click on Join Jams, and we can find the 24-hour digital design challenge. It is a private event, so you need the direct link to access it, which is available on the Eventbrite. But once you actually come back in and you've joined the jams, it's quite easy to access. So then you can submit your project. In here, you'll have a drop-down to select the projects you've created. It is important that you select the correct project. If you've got multiple projects on each, there'll be a whole list of options there. So just do make sure that you choose the correct one. If it's the only project you've got, it makes it quite easy. It's going to ask for a bunch of information, including your first name, last name, UC email, the discipline major, whether or not you're studying at UC in Canberra or UC at TAFE Queensland, the submission category, and don't forget that I've broken down subcategories of these submission categories here. And if there's not a subcategory here that makes sense to your project, just submit them to whatever makes sense with these overarching categories. These categories are used for the prizes, as well as there's other prizes on top of that. So just be mindful that you do put it in the correct place. So next up is committed hours. And this is a new section that I've added to the 24-hour digital design challenge. And this is because not everyone can dedicate the full 24 hours to creating a response. I don't want people that do work on it to be disadvantaged. So we're creating a new prize category for people that can't do the full 24 hours. So now you will still have the opportunity to win an award or a prize if you don't contribute the full 24 hours to it. So ideally the 24 hours is the way to go, but if you can't do that, if you can't commit that many hours, then don't forget that you've got the 18 and the 16-hour options, and that you can still go to the chance to win at least one prize overall. If you're working in a team, you can choose team. If you're working individually, you can choose that. Ideally, we want maximum teams of 3. So you just include the student name and number here. And then we have an option to complete a form here. You don't have to do that if you're time poor. There'll be other opportunities later on, like in the award ceremony, to provide feedback about the event, but we're just capturing it during submission process, just in case you forget. So you can say, yes, you've done it, or you can say, I'll do it later. Up to you guys. Definitely, if you've got limited time, just focus on getting your submission up. And then you can hit submit. And that's it. That is the process of getting your project up. Now, it's a little bit nuanced, but it's relatively easy. So with this video, I feel like you shouldn't have a problem, especially if you watch it before the actual challenge starts. You'll have a strong idea of the amount of time that you have to dedicate to submission, which I think the submission process is probably going to only be like 10 minutes, 20 minutes max, but creating the video showcase may take longer. So just be mindful, whatever you create, that you kind of leave a few hours at the end of the challenge to create your submission and create that video showcase. Anyway, that's it from me. I wish you all the best in the challenge, and I'm really excited to see what you create.